So here, now we will go over how to hook up and put together the crowd alley and the WW chute, squeeze chute. So this back gate here is going to hook in with, there's two panels I'll show you that will come off of one of the gates on the sweep. So you can bring the cattle around. They'll come inside. You have a gate to shut behind them. Again, this will have to have boards put on here so this is not open like this. As we come in, the cattle come in. These allow the cattle to come through, and then they shut behind and they won't allow the cattle to back up. They have a pin out here that you can pin it open and leave it pinned open for when you're cleaning out or working. So we're coming in. As we do this, when you put these together, so again, this is like the other, you have the male post, the female panel sides. They come in pairs. All of these go short on one side, long on the other, which makes it so it has that sweep so that the cattle from the back don't see you working on the cattle in the chute, which means they'll come in without being as scared and worried, and they'll come through easier. Then you have another set of these up here to where what they call this is a palpation cage. So you have these gates here that if you're working cattle and you need to get behind them, you can swing a gate around and block the other cattle off, and you have complete access to the chute and a area for a man to come in and out. Come on now. So all of these, this chute has adjustments to make it narrow or wide. They come through. There are pins that will go in here, and you can make this narrow or wider depending on the size of the cattle you're working. The chute's got a lot of really good ideas on it. We'll start. So you have a gate on the back that you pull up to let the cows in. And you can pull on it again so you don't have to ever have your hand inside where the cattle are. Each one of these bars will drop down so you can, if you have branding or shots or anything that you need to get to the cattle, you can. If you're working underneath them or have to work on a hoof, this folds down, and actually if you wanted to, you could take this all the way out to give you even better access to the cattle, to their bellies, or for castration. You have the squeeze. So this squeezes down like this. It then swings back up so you don't hit yourself in the head with this. And it has a release up here. So when you are done squeezing, you can open it back up to unsqueeze. There's a pedal here that throws a lever so that this gate can swing out. Then you have the head gate. It's a self-catching head gate. If you push it in like this, as the cattle come in, their head comes through, they catch it, and it locks on them. Again, you have this lever up here that you can open to release them to go forward, or open to get ready to catch the next individual coming through. Depending on the neck and shoulder size of the cattle, you have an adjustment right here. So there's a pin. You pull the pin out and you make this so it has another setting in here, and you make that so that it's wider and can take a bigger necked animal. So then inside here we have the panels that hook up on the back to hook this crowd alley to the hub, so you have room to open that back gate and shut the back gate. We also have depending on what you're doing, you have a bar that can be set so that when you get your cattle in, you can put this through to hold their head so it can't come up. Yeah. And then you also, if you want, so you have a nose catch. So if the cattle come in, that holds their heads down, this comes around, loops over their nose, hooks in there so they can't throw their head. We did not put these on unless we were actually doing something where we needed these on, simply because they tend to be in your way otherwise, but they're always available. And that's the main use and how to set up the crowd alley and the chute. Again, the long panels all go on one side, the short panels, when we put these together, go on the other. And we will number these again. So each one of these, there's spacers and panel. Spacer and panels, and spacer and panels. So that's how you hook this up. Again, the more level this is, the easier it is to hook up. If need be, we didn't really work too hard at blocking something up, but this one right now isn't hooked just because we really only set this up to demonstrate what it looks like completed.